Thanks everybody for coming to the Creswell City Council meeting, January 12th, 2026. Welcome to a new year, new show. We please all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Again, thanks everybody for coming. First thing we have tonight is to elect a new city council president. Alonzo's been serving for quite some time and doing a bang-up job, and couldn't ask for anybody better to learn from and bounce ideas off of. But every year we do this, so I am entertaining motions for a new council president, or the same council president. Councilor Kane.
I would like to nominate, if he's willing to serve again, Alonzo Castilla.
Are there any other nominations on the floor? No? Well, that makes it easy. All those in favor of Alonzo Castillo being the new and returned council president, please raise your hand. All those opposed, same sign. Thank you, sir. Glad to have you back.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council.
All right, we'll go to the public forum. We have four. Rats. I'll start off with Patty Scott. You want to speak about the city logo?
You want me here?
If you can come to the mic, please. It's a little difficult, but we got time for you.
Speak right into here.
Yes, please.
My name is Patty Scott. I live at 77 North 5th Street. I worked at the high school for 20 years and volunteered for about 15. So I've been around a long time. I'm aware that there's a thought that you might be changing the logo to a bulldog.
Mm-hmm.
I'm opposed. I think that if you want to put a sign underneath the Creswell, you could put Home of the Bulldogs. But being that the Bulldog is a high school, it belongs to the high school. It doesn't belong to the whole city. But as a city, we support the Bulldogs. I feel that I'm a Bulldog, and I just want to say that I'm just so worried that the city people need to vote on it, and I don't know if that's how you're going to do it, but as a city member, I want to cast my vote. So, any questions? I mean, I'm a Bulldog through and through. So, if you have any questions to ask me, I'm here. But I'm ready to bring in the troops. So, the Indians are going to be attacked. Okay?
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you. Monica, would you please come up, young lady?
Okay, my name's Monica Knight, and I live at 43 North 3rd Street. And because it's so nerve-wracking talking before everybody, I prepared a statement. So I'm just going to read it. And I'm here tonight to express my opinion on a matter that was announced in the November 10th, 2025 council minutes. I would like to clarify that I'm not here as a representative of the Creswell Area Historical Society, because I'm the treasurer, but as a longtime resident of Creswell. My family has made this area our home for almost 100 years now. So this means a lot to me. It was recently brought to my attention that the Creswell City Council is proposing to change the current city logo from the Creswell Historical Museum to something that will, and I quote from the minutes, resonate a little bit more with staff and maybe the community. According to the information in the city manager's update of that meeting, the plan is to develop 3 different designs representing Creswell with employee input. The preferred logo would then be selected through an employee selection process before being brought to the council. As a citizen, I found the wording in the minutes to be a little annoying and somewhat offensive. I think the changing of the logo is too important to be determined by employee input and not the community's. The museum has been the logo for many years, and I feel it has been a good representative for all the citizens of Creswell, no matter your age, your gender, or your politics. I'm urging the city of Creswell and the council to seek public input, not just the suggestions from employees and staff before making the decision. After all, is it important that the employees resonate with the logo of the town? We're paying for their services, whether they're residents or not. I think a logo that represents all the residents of Creswell and surrounding area is more important. And I do think even, anybody that makes their home in Creswell, whether you're inside the city limits or outside, I think they should have a say too. It's important. So I thank you.
Thank you. We normally don't respond back much, but I will say that I would get public's input, the city's input. I would anybody in the 97426's input. Originally that was based on staff, and those were Vincent's words, but I don't think this council would appreciate voting on it just on the staff alone. We would want the city's input. So rest assured that we will get more than just the staff's input for sure. And I definitely heard you guys, and I appreciate you coming and speaking to this and your passion for it. And we can't ever forget the history. We want to be able to move forward with the history that we have and create new history. So we definitely don't want to forget it. I appreciate you guys. That being said, Donald Jones, sir, will you please come up?
My name is Donald Jones. I live at 1353 Creswell Drive. I have a little bit of problem with the public safety fee that we have on our water bill, but I need a couple of questions answered on that, if you could.
Okay.
Is that voted in by the city, or was that brought in through council?
That was long before my time. How long did you?
I've only been here for 7.5 years.
What fee is this?
The public safety fee that's on the water.
It was voted on by the citizens of Creswell
So it was voted on.
to have, not the fee itself, right? This man can answer right here.
Right, there was some public outreach that was done to see if it would rather be a fee or a tax. It did overwhelmingly get feedback that they'd rather have a fee than a property tax.
Okay.
And the fee was passed by council through a vote of the council.
Okay, now my second part of that is,
I was lied to.
on this, what is the contract on that for hours of operation for coverage?
I hate to say it out loud just for the criminals out there, but we technically have 22 hours of coverage a day. 20? So we have 20 hours a day, and that's 5 deputies,
Is that 7 days a week?
7 days a week.
Except for when you call in for something.
Well, that I can't speak to.
That's why I'm here.
Okay.
I've called in 5 separate times. I've called into the sheriff's department dispatch. On my major one, I was in Eastern Oregon and had a young gal, about 16 years old, watch my house, somebody come over my back fence. I drove from Eastern Oregon to here and never had a police officer ever show up at my house. The other night, 10:30 at night, had to go to work. I get up at 5 every morning. There was a bunch of older kids, not young kids, out in the park behind my house, raising all kinds of cane. Called in. Nothing. I've come and asked, and I was told to go talk to the public works guy. They'll put up a sign. What's a sign do? Nothing. My wife called in something, got laughed at on the phone. So I'm struggling with this, paying this bill. I was a reserve cop, where I came from. I was there for almost 18 years. They answered all the calls. Some might not have been as important as others, but they still answered them. I've still never had a police officer show up on the Sunday day that my house was gonna be broken into if I wouldn't have had somebody there because somebody come over my back fence. So I'm struggling.
I understand the
That's where I'm at.
frustration. I understand it. I would be too.
That's why I asked if it was voted in by the community or appointed by the council.
So it was voted in by the council versus fee over tax. And usually because tax sounds a lot more aggressive than a fee.
Because, I mean, I'm only one person. How many people does this happen to that it's not gonna come forward?
I'll come forward.
But we're not doing that right now.
But you see what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
And I was very nervous about coming down here and talking to you guys because I'm not here to stir the pot. I'm here to try to make it better.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm almost to the point of refusing to pay that, but it's part of my water bill.
Well, we need to know. I appreciate you coming down and
5 times
So-
I've called in and nobody showed up.
Well, thank you for coming in. This
Yes.
is how we find out these things.
Okay? Thank you very
Would
much.
you,
for your
would
time.
you be opposed to having Sergeant Spelder check in with you? I got your address and name, number, and,
Yeah.
and trying to review maybe what may or may not have happened, and so we can kind of get somewhere, because I don't want to leave you here, I don't want you to walk out of here tonight without anything.
Oh, that's fine. My hours, I leave my house at 6 o'clock in the morning, I get home between 5:30 and 6 at night. I didn't even know if I was gonna make this meeting. I talked to the little gal here the other day.
Okay.
Told her I might be late.
Well, a phone call or something like that from.
Yeah, give me a holler.
Okay.
I'm home in the evenings usually.
Well, I believe in our sheriffs, I do believe they do a good job, and I'm behind them, but there's gotta be a rhyme or reason, and I'd like to figure that out and see if we can't rectify that and get you feeling more comfortable again.
Okay.
Thank you, I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you. Cheryl, would you like to come up, please?
I want to give public comment.
And I'm reading this right, it's rats, correct?
You got it,
Okay.
you got
Just making
it.
sure.
Sure, you got it. Cher Waltman, 149 South Second Street, Creswell, Oregon. Been here 16 years. Okay. We live in a neighborhood where all the road construction's been going on, stopped for so far.
Excuse me.
No, you're fine. That's a good sound. We are having serious rat problems. The Prices could not be here tonight because their house is inundated and they've coming up through their vents. They're trying everything. On Thursday, they get their house treated into a program. I'm getting my house treated into a program. They have tore through our ducts. So we're basically heating our crawl spaces, not our homes. That's a high bill. The house is trying to heat up to where the temperature says. I layer because I cannot stay warm enough in my home now. This is ridiculous. They're going through the attic. It's bad. Yes, the bakery has all kinds of boxes now around their building. They're there, but it's not help. We're all fighting it now. So we're looking to the council, we're coming to the council, because I think if you look up who the commissioner is for the city of Creswell, it is you guys. It's exactly what comes up. And it lists every one of your names, by the way. You are our commissioning base. So, roadwork's gonna pick back up. It's gonna move them. They're gonna move. Our homes are getting, this project was supposed to enhance our homes. Well, it's not done. We've already got property taxes have gone up. Now our homes are being destroyed by rats. And we have We're backed in a corner and we are coming out fighting if we have to. We really would like to know what can the city offer us in this regards? What can be done? And yes, we're talking to A Street also, to the people that remained there before that stayed there and not left through all that construction. So, and I know it's not just here, there's a lot of rats in Creswell. When Bill did the work up there at the 76, during the day you had rats running, broad daylight. That is a sign that we are in really bad shape. I've checked in with Eugene, I've checked into several rat people dealing with the rat populations and stuff in their programs, and we've called the health department. So, please, can we get something, what can we do? Where can we work together on this? That's what we would like. Now, I'm sorry, but I'm going to step into the second spot. When my house was burglarized in 2013,
That was your 3 minutes, Sharon.
okay, 2013, the sheriff came. Anything after that, I was always told there was no one in the vicinity. Yet I could stand there on my porch and look at the cop cars, the sheriff cars that were lined up at City Hall. They were in a meeting, but there was no one in the vicinity. It hurts.
Can I ask
It
you
hurts a lot.
one question real quick about the rats?
Yes.
Did that happen as soon as construction kind
No,
of
we-
completed, or
we-
is that something that's been going on for a while?
It is massive right now, but have the rat. The practices at the bakery were very poor for 7 years. It was a rat's paradise. And then we started getting hammering. The rats literally went up through the floor of Tim and Kim Price's house. It has been non-stop
Okay.
on their side, but it's our side. Brandon has them. He's trying to deal with it. Our new neighbor Braden, who bought the corner house, he's already trapped 5 in less than a week.
They're all
So-
in the city.
Tim and Kim have got up to 16.
Okay. Thank you. I will follow up with Cliff and see what we can do. All right. Stacy Holt, speaking as a citizen, not a counselor.
Hi, Stacy Holt. I live on Creswell Drive in Creswell, Oregon. I wasn't here for the meeting when they started the logo talk. I was out of state. And as a citizen, I'm not real happy about it for a couple reasons. One, because I think the museum is an appropriate logo for the city of Creswell. I think that it does represent the city of Creswell. But also because I know how much it costs to rebrand companies. You know, when you make a new logo for a company, it doesn't stop at making a new logo and now, oh, we have this new pretty logo. No, it's a new shiny object that you have to literally put on everything now. So there's a substantial cost involved in doing that too. So I'm just gonna stand on the record that I am fully against changing the city of Creswell's logo right now.
I'm laughing at you, Patty, for the. I appreciate it, enthusiasm. All right, we have nobody else to talk further, so we'll go to the mayor's report. Tonight, I'm just gonna announce a few, actually, we only have a couple. So we have 2 openings on the budget committee. Those are for citizens. You gotta technically be in the 97426 city limits. So outside the city limits, I don't believe we have any at large. Caitlin, no. So you have to be within the city boundaries. Parks and Tree tonight, I'm gonna announce William Kent and Norma Jean Osborne to the Parks and Tree Committee. Congratulations. And then I also announced that Dr. Bain came in a little bit late, but he's a renewal for the Water Advisory Board.
Okay.
Dr. Bain is back with us, so we appointed him. So we have a full Water Rate Advisory Board. So if you are interested in doing more and learning about the budgets, and we do negotiate the sheriff's budget every year, it's a great opportunity. You only got to meet for, I think, 2 to 3 hours for the year. It's one of the lower committed to committees, but we'd love to have you. And if you're in the area, it's in May. There's 2 meetings in May and that's it. So if you're so inclined, please come and volunteer and put in your input there. I think the budget committee is a great place to start.
What part of May is that in?
Usually the first or third, kind of switch it up this year, first or third Tuesday of May.
Yeah, I was just looking at it today.
Normally we kind of have like a budget committee, so here it is, and we'll all come up here and sit, and Jim and city manager will give us the budget and their plan, and then we'll talk through it and ask questions, and then the next meeting we vote on it, and we'll take a majority vote.
Yeah, generally it's 2 meetings.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're right about those dates because it.
We alternated from the city council.
City council meeting,
Yeah.
first and third Tuesday.
Okay. And the mayor's charges are in the packet, so if you have any questions, please review those. But with the consent of the council, we're going to move forward on to correspondence.
Did we approve our minutes?
I'm working that
Okay.
next. I'm going in order.
Sorry.
Jeez.
Where's that,
Just
where's
kids
that
today.
hold button?
Just kids today.
Just a quick comment on the article from Idens, written by Gene Chen Smith. I couldn't agree with this article anymore. I don't know if it should be available to anyone out there if you're interested in reading it. It's a great article on City of Creswell. It's awesome.
I saw it online.
Yeah, I did too.
Excellent. So does anybody have any questions with, or comments with the correspondence of Monica in the emails previously? Everybody's, no? All right, we'll move on to the consent calendar now. All items are considered routine unless pulled for correction. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes? Yes, any comments, polls, questions? All right, well then I'm entertaining a nomination, or a motion to approve the minutes as presented. Councilor Castillo,
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
is there a second? Councilor Duke seconds the motion. All those in favor, please raise your hand. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. All right, Jim, are you able to come up?
Yeah.
Okay. Go over the administrative report. Jim's filling in for Vincent. He is sick and excused, as well as Councilor Kramer is also sick and excused.
Yes, I apologize. The office has been hit pretty hard this week.
It's too bad.
What I have before you is the administrative report, and the first item on the report is the finance expenditures report. These are the bills. We've called them bills before. But these are the checks that were written in December. If the council has any questions.
Councilor Holt?
You never get away with not having at least one. I actually am curious about the Creswell first check. Is that for, what is that check for? What does it cover?
That's for the community grants.
No, I know that part. What time period does it cover?
That would be this fiscal year, so
For 2026?
correct.
So we're dispersing money before we even set it in the budget?
No, it's set in the budget for the 25-26.
Oh, fiscal year through July.
Yeah.
That's why I needed to
Yeah.
ask. Okay,
Yep.
thank you. Sorry
Good
about that.
question.
Anyone else?
I'm on your page now.
Councilor Castillo?
Yes, just, I'm gonna make an assumption that there's 2 good-sized checks to Wildish. Is that still for the Second Street project?
That is for the Second Street project, yes.
Is there 3? Okay. And is that gonna be it for this construction cycle?
For this construction cycle, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? All right, we'll move on to the Lane County Sheriff's Report.
All right, Sergeant Speller's here to talk about that report.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
We're in 2026 now.
Yes, we are.
So if you take a look at the graphs, you'll see that there's a new page on there. City Manager Marrello requested an annual report for our calls for service, so I put that together. I'm happy to answer any questions specifically that you might have about that report. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. As we come into 2026, I'm approaching my 3rd year in Creswell. February will be 3 years. I don't have any plans to leave anytime soon unless people want me to leave, but for now I'm staying. With that being said, if you take a look at our monthly calls for service, you'll see that the calls have kind of gone back to numbers from what we would expect the trend to be. We had a pretty busy month last month with the property crimes. As I mentioned, there was a car clout incident with that. But now we're back at the numbers, what we would typically see month to month. The only number that's super high this month is the individual welfare check, and that's because we had 27 calls from one person that created, each one created a new call record. So that's where that number comes from. I've got some good news. Our Creswell bank robber was sentenced. It was honestly probably one of the fastest cases start to finish regarding sentencing. He received 5 years in Department of Corrections. So
5? I know it's out of your
I
hand.
know. But the good news is he did receive prison time for that.
Yeah.
And that was in conjunction with Cottage Grove's case. I don't know all the details about their case, but
Oh, wait, he was sentenced for both?
yeah.
I'm just gonna bite my tongue.
And I think that a lot of that has to do with his previous convictions as well as his, there's some unique circumstances with this case that I'd be happy to talk about offline.
Okay.
But other than that, we have 2 Measure 11 crimes. They're actually from the same incident. It was a double Measure 11 assault. Victim was suspect in one and suspect was victim in the other, retaliatory type thing. So that's where those 2 came from. And then I'm happy to announce that we have a new deputy working in Creswell. Buck Basnet has gone back to working out of the main office. Adam Nell is down here in Creswell now working the swing shift. He is from a small community. He started in Pendleton, lateraled over to us about a year and a half ago, and has some pretty significant public safety experience. He was a volunteer firefighter for many years. And then he worked in, I can never remember what, I want to say Eastern Oregon Correctional Institute. He was Department of Corrections for a number of years before he got into actual patrol law enforcement. So if you see him around, he's a super nice guy. He's already loving it down here. He's only been down here a week and he's having a good time and working hard. So I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Councilors? Councilor Kent?
Not really a question, just a statement. I noticed in December, 9 speeding citations. So, good job. Thank you.
It's a busy month.
I think that's the biggest complaint we get is speeding. Anyone else?
It is.
Councilor Castillo?
Yes, I was going to comment as well. That's got to be a new record. 9 in a month, that's great. And I really what I want to say was, I personally do not want you to leave.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And while we're speaking about speeding, so we frequently receive traffic complaints, and there hasn't been a way to really track how effective our efforts have been on those traffic complaints. If somebody says we're having speeding in the area of 1st and A Street, I can say to my deputies, hey, go sit there, go watch that, work as hard as you can, stop cars, whatever, right? But we don't have a tracking system for that. I just want to let you guys know I'm working on that, and I'm hoping that moving forward I'll be able to narrow down kind of our focused efforts on those problems instead of just being able to say, yeah, we're doing that when we are. I'll be able to have some numbers to back that up is my hope. I'm working with my dispatch to make something happen with that, but.
Awesome.
Well, and just to comment on that, Sergeant Swildrick, this has been amazing because this is great data to give feedback to residents who say, hey, you know, you guys nobody's getting tickets, everybody's speeding, nobody's getting pulled over and so forth. But to be able to look at this and say, hey, no, this is what's going on. This is how many have been written is great.
Mhm.
You can't argue with data.
Yeah, thank you.
Numbers don't lie. Anyone else? All right, thank you, Sergeant. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, next up is the attorney's report. Total 17 hours over the month, which included wrapping up the audit, working on a franchise fee with Lumen, and some issues around planning.
Any questions or comments on the city? Usually isn't any. All right. Code enforcement?
All right, next up is the code enforcement report, and we have Pierre Francia in attendance. He can come up and go over the report, answer any questions.
The new guy.
Hey, so everyone has a report in front of you. I'm playing around with different formats, but essentially not doing pictures out of respect for people's privacy. And any questions? Essentially, first month in, so a lot of catching up, or I've caught up to where we're at now. I would like to tell people, if there's a complaint that wasn't addressed, that resubmit a complaint, so I can start looking into that. And there's more to come.
Councilor, any questions? Councilor Holt?
You said that you're not doing pictures. Do you just mean in the packet?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
yes,
So those are at our disposal if we ask for them.
yes.
Councilors anywhere? Councilor Garcia?
Yes, and closed, assuming that closed means they've taken care of the issue and it's,
Yeah, so a closed, I mean, that's the word that's available in our tracking document, but closed can be resolved, closed can mean unfounded. So closed meaning either resolved or unfounded, one of the two.
okay.
And I added a new tab, it's no code violation, so if it says no code violation closed, then it's just
Oh,
no
that's good.
code
I
violation.
like that, because at least you can put a stamp on it that there was no violation.
Right, so we can track that.
But,
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that. Awesome. Anyone else? All right, thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
All right, last up is the building permits summary. These are permits issued during the calendar year and in comparison to the prior month in the prior calendar year.
Any questions on that, councilors? Councilor Holt?
I don't have a question so much more as I'm curious if there would be a way to put these in a spreadsheet or a table where we could view with columns and rows previous years versus current year, much in the way that Sergeant has done for us for the law enforcement stuff. Because, we can flip back and forth and stuff, but having that visual display is a lot nicer. It's just a request. If it's not something that can be done easily, that's okay too.
Sure, I think I'll pass that along.
Thank you.
Any further questions or comments? All right. Thank you, Jim. We'll move on to council action items. Jim, come back.
I'm just gonna hang out. All right, item 7A is motion. It's a resolution to appropriate expenditures with the general fund. It's $15,000 for a basketball court over at the Colbert Activity Center. This amendment's less than 10% of the amended appropriations within the Culture and Recreation Department, which means you're not required to do a supplemental budget notice or a public hearing. It's going to just be passed with a vote of the council. It's coming out of contingency. The contingency totals $388,625. So there's plenty of reserves there in the general fund. From what I understand, there is some donor items too as well, so we're kind of leveraging those donor items with some city dollars to make a basketball court happen where we may not have that opportunity at any other time. This was one of the top priorities in the 2018 Creswell Parks and Open Space Master Plan. It was really close between that and creating more trails in Creswell. Courts seem to be what the youth are looking for as far as an outlet. The motion is in the agenda item summary, and the resolution shows the amended appropriations, meaning the last budget amendment, and the proposed change in what the approved revisions would do for the budget. Total appropriations general fund still remain at at $3,591,517. Any questions from the council?
Counselor Dukes?
Yeah, don't we have a couple basketball courts at the park?
We do, and they're fairly busy.
You just let me know and I'll take over at any time. This is my baby for sure.
Sure.
We do have donors. Somebody's donated cash. Another donor has donated 2 brand new NBA style backboards to go with this court. So this $15,000 will not be $15,000. It's gonna be a lot closer in the 8 to 10 range for sure. And what my goal is to have a basketball court at the Creswell Clubhouse and Creswell First Building over on Cobalt. We already have a park over there. We have a hoop that gets put up, a mobile hoop, kind of $150 hoop that gets damaged all the time from kids dunking on it and wanting to play over there. But we have the room to put a miniature full court hoop up there, and it is my intent and goal to be at the 8.5-foot range for kids who are not of age to shoot on 10-foot hoops, which is 3rd grade and under. Over here, we have a great park. Cliff's just redone it. It looks great, it works great, but it does not work for any of the little kids. Little kids gotta come here, be intimidated by high school players, high school kids, people who speak differently, act differently. I don't want that. Over here, we have more single-family homes. We have some supervision during the day. We have some hours that are covered by adults that are able to watch the kids and make sure they're playing respectfully, but playing hard and playing well, and another opportunity to get them outside and off the screens. And this is absolutely a passion project that must get done for our kids. They need another place to play, not just the adult kids. We need a place for the kids to play. And as I'm coaching 3rd grade boys right now, it's really difficult to get them to volunteer to go outside and play a 10-foot hoop in this cold weather. If it was 8.5 and they could practice, I might get them out there, but it's not really possible. So with the donors, the 2 donors we have now with possible more to come, this won't be, I don't think it'll be more than 10. But I do believe that you've renegotiated funds so that it's pretty much a zero-sum maneuver.
Yeah, this wouldn't affect the budget, the overall expenditures in the general fund.
I've been waiting for this for months to, so.
This heads to the pot.
Council,
I'm just gonna make the motion.
bring it on.
I move that the City Council approve Resolution 2026-01, a resolution appropriating expenditures within the general fund.
Second? Councilor Duke seconds the motion. All those in favor, please raise your hand. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Next, we have approval of contract proposal for Priority 1 Sewer Collection System, Cliff.
Good evening, Council, Mayor. The item before you tonight is to receive council approval to enter into a contract with West Tech Engineering. They're our engineers of record for sewer collection system improvements. I think everybody's aware, or at least should be aware, that we have a moratorium. We have moratorium for sewer connections and have a mutual agreement in order from DEQ with a list of compliance items that are required to be addressed by the city. One of those requirements was to TV scope our entire wastewater collection system. That has been completed. We did that this last summer. And from that effort, we have identified priority 1, 2, and 3 projects that need repair within our collection system. We're at the point where we need to have engineering done so that we can complete the priority 1 projects that are required by DEQ. So this contract's before you through West Tech, they're our engineer of record. It will provide engineering, surveying, design work, drawings, final plan sets, and bidding services for this project. And this is just for the engineering. It's not for the actual construction. The cost of this is $175,000, not to exceed. So we're at this point looking for council approval to move forward with this contract for engineering services with West Tech.
Councilor Wolf?
When you say engineer of record, what do you mean?
They're our engineer that we have went out for RFP and picked as our engineer.
So you did get a bid. You got several bids and then, okay, that's what, I didn't know if that meant that they were just always our engineer or if you actually sent it out for.
So this has not went to bid. It does not have to because we're using our engineer of record. Our engineer of record has been picked through a bidding process, vetted through council, and they are our engineer.
It's kind of like the lawyer and the judge.
Yes.
Right now.
Oh, really?
It's in
We
that
can
same
avoid,
ballpark,
we
yes.
can,
Is this something
That's
we
what-
can change?
Well, we have an RFP out for our engineers as well as the judge.
We
and
do?
lawyer,
Oh,
yes.
okay, okay.
we can award contracts
Yeah.
to our engineer of record.
So we don't, I didn't realize that we didn't just get engineer bids for each individual project. I didn't realize that.
That's why you get an engineer of record, so you don't have to do that for every single city project.
It's a little scary though, like,
Well,
we could go on all day about this,
Yeah.
like, yeah, but I understand. Thank you for answering the question. Thank you.
Councilors, anything else? How much further does this, how big is this step towards getting, back online and where we can start building again?
so there's a couple different items there. One is the MAO, and that has to do with the collection system. And then we have the NPDES permit, which has to do with wastewater treatment system. So you have two kind of different buckets there. Phase one of this priority is the biggest lift, and it's about a $2.5 million project. And then there'll be 2 and 3, and that's, the 2 and 3 will be close to 2 or 2.5 million for the next two projects. So this is the biggest portion of the collection system improvements.
And we need to do this regardless if we get that pipe up Short Mountain.
That's correct. So what this does is this repairs all of the broken areas, the cracked areas, separated areas where we get I&I, which is inflow or infiltration. So you basically get stormwater in your system, and then you treat stormwater, which is not what you want to do in a wastewater plant.
Okay, just want to make sure everybody was aware. I mean, I was from behind the scenes, but I want to make sure that was out there, that it's kind of have to. Anybody else? Any comments? All right, I'll be entertaining a motion then. Counselor Kent?
I move that the city council approves city manager Vincent Martorello to enter into a contract with West Tech Engineering for Priority 1 Sewer Collection System Improvements, I/I project, engineering services for a total not to exceed $175,000.
Do I have a second? Counselor Castillo seconds it. All those in favor, please raise your hand. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
All right. That brings us to the end of this. Please review the city website for all of our upcoming meetings for either parks and trees or public safeties or budget committees or anything. And feel free to email any one of us, mayors or councilors, if you got questions. But the website does lay out when we meet and what we do, so give you a good chance to come check it out. Thank you.
You want to shut that off?
Yeah. Oh, he did it. Sorry.
You're slacking.
Okay.